A moment in life when you must look in the mirror and ask yourself a question: who am I living for? Too often the answer isn't you. It's the neighbors. It's the critics. It's the friends scrolling through their phones. It's the strangers who couldn't care less about your story. But here's the truth, my friend. If you keep measuring your life with someone else's ruler, you'll never know your true height. We live in a world that constantly shouts at you to compare. Look at their success. Look at their car. Look at their smile. Look at their life. But all that noise does nothing but distract you from your own journey. The time you spend watching them climb is time you could have spent building your own ladder. You see, comparison is the thief of joy, and worse, it's the assassin of progress. The truth is, you cannot grow if your eyes are always locked on someone else's field. Your grass will never turn green if you're too busy staring at the neighbor's lawn. Water your own soil. Nurture your own dreams. Feed your own spirit. Because the moment you shift your focus from others to yourself, you discover a freedom unlike any other, the freedom of becoming who you were meant to be. And make no mistake, becoming who you were meant to be requires discipline. It requires you to silence the distractions, to stop scrolling, to stop gossiping, to stop wishing you had what they have. Instead, pour that energy into yourself. Every hour wasted on comparison is an hour stolen from your destiny. But every hour invested in your growth is an hour multiplied in your future. So, when the world tells you to look around, I say, look within. When your heart tempts you to measure your worth against another, remind yourself your race is yours alone. No one can run it for you. No one can steal it from you. And no one can define it but you. Now is the time to reclaim your focus. Stand tall. Close the doors of distraction. Guard your vision. Your journey is too sacred to be wasted on chasing shadows. Take a deep breath and step forward today with one commitment. I will focus on myself, not others. Because when you focus on yourself, you become unstoppable. When you focus on yourself, you build a life that doesn't need comparison. And when you focus on yourself, you finally unlock the greatness that was sleeping inside you all along. So rise today with unwavering resolve. Stop comparing. Stop chasing approval. Stop wasting your strength on battles that are not yours. Instead, channel it into your purpose, your growth, your calling. Focus yourself, not others, and watch your life transform into something the world cannot ignore. There is a dangerous habit that steals away the very essence of your potential, and it is the habit of comparison. The moment you look at another person's life and measure your worth against it, you begin to chain yourself to an illusion. You see their smiles on the surface, their victories on display, their carefully crafted images designed to impress the world. And you convince yourself that you are somehow behind, somehow less, somehow unworthy. But what you are forgetting is this: you do not see their storms, their sleepless nights, their struggles hidden in silence. You only see what they choose to show. Comparing yourself to others is like judging a book by its cover, while ignoring the unwritten chapters of your own story. Life was never designed for you to walk someone else's path. It was designed for you to walk your own, with your own struggles, your own lessons, and your own breakthrough. The danger of comparison is not just that it makes you feel smaller, but that it blinds you to the beauty of your own progress. You start ignoring the steps you've already taken, the victories you've already won, because your eyes are too focused on the horizon of someone else. The truth is, comparison robs you twice. It steals the joy of what you have and the focus of what you could become. You will never discover your greatness if your attention is trapped in another person's shadow. Your story is unique. Your race is yours alone. And there is no timeline, no deadline, no scoreboard that can measure your growth except the one written within your own soul. Think about a seed planted in the soil. If that seed could compare itself to the tree beside it, it would despair, believing it will never reach such height, such strength, such beauty. But what the seed does not know is that its time will come. Growth requires patience, nurturing, and focus. If the seed wastes its energy envying the tree, it will forget to absorb the sunlight it needs to rise. The same truth applies to you. You are in your season of growth, and your energy must be rooted in your own soil, not in someone else's harvest. You must remind yourself every day that the progress of others does not define your pace, that their success does not diminish your potential, and that their light does not dim your shine. When you free yourself from comparison, you gain something priceless: clarity. You begin to see your own talents with new eyes. You begin to value the progress you once overlooked. You begin to feel the strength in your own steps, rather than constantly questioning if they are enough. This clarity builds confidence, because now your measurement is no longer external, it is internal. You start asking yourself better questions. Am I better than I was yesterday? Am I learning? Am I growing? Am I becoming the version of myself that I was meant to be? Those questions will do more for your spirit than any attempt to compete with another ever could. The journey of life is not a race against each other, but a race against time. Every day you spend comparing is a day wasted, but every day you spend focusing on yourself is a day invested in your future. Understand this deeply. Someone else's success does not mean your failure. Their breakthrough does not mean your end. Their blessings do not mean your absence. Life is abundant. There is space for every dream, every vision, every purpose to flourish. But you must water your own, you must nurture your own, and you must trust your own season. Discipline is the bridge between who you are today and who you have the power to become. But here is the truth most people avoid facing. Discipline is not built in the eyes of the world. It is forged in the quiet moments, when no one is watching. It is not in the applause, not in the validation, not in the praise of others that your strength grows. It is in the stillness of self-reflection, in the honesty of facing your own weaknesses, and in the courage to correct yourself, even when no one else is demanding it. Too many people chase the image of discipline, doing things to be seen, to be admired, to be applauded. But that is not discipline. That is performance. Discipline is not for show. It is for growth. When you begin to practice self-reflection, you give yourself the gift of truth. And truth is the foundation of all lasting discipline. Sit with yourself and ask the difficult questions. Am I living with integrity? Am I consistent with my actions, or do I only work when people are watching? Do I stand by my values, or do I bend when the world pushes against me? The answers to these questions are not always comfortable, but they are necessary, because only when you see yourself clearly can you begin to build the discipline that will carry you forward. Think of discipline as a muscle. Every choice you make, every decision to resist distraction, every act of self-control strengthens that muscle. And like a muscle, discipline grows in silence, in repetition, in persistence. Self-reflection is the mirror that allows you to see whether you are truly strengthening yourself or merely pretending. Without reflection, you may continue repeating the same mistakes, never realizing that your progress is being held hostage by habits you refuse to face. But when you take time to look inward, you shine a light on the areas where growth is required, and you hold yourself accountable to change. Discipline is also about alignment. When you reflect, you begin to align your actions with your deeper purpose. You stop working for the fleeting approval of others, and you start working for the higher vision of yourself. External validation is temporary. It fades as quickly as it comes. One moment the world applauds you. Next moment it forgets you. If your discipline depends on the cheers of others, you will crumble when the silence arrives. But if your discipline is rooted in your own reflection, in your own conviction, then no silence, no criticism, no rejection can shake you, because you are no longer working to please the crowd. You are working to honor your own soul. Self-reflection teaches you to see beyond the moment. It shows you that every small choice has weight, every small habit has consequences, and every small discipline builds toward the person you are becoming. Reflection forces you to confront the gap between who you say you want to be and who you are actually being. And in that confrontation lies the power to transform. You do not need to wait for the world to correct you. You can correct yourself. You can discipline yourself. You can hold yourself accountable in ways no one else ever will. That is where true strength is born, not in the eyes of others, but in the secret battles you fight within. The more you practice this, the more you realize discipline is not a punishment, it is a gift. It is the daily commitment to choose your higher self over your weaker impulses. It is the act of saying no to what is easy so you can say yes to what is meaningful. And it is built not through chasing likes, applause, or recognition, but through the quiet courage of reflection, honesty, and self-correction. Growth is not a moment. It is not an event. It is not something that suddenly appears one day when the world decides you are ready. Growth is a daily investment, a slow and steady shaping of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Too many people wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect time, the perfect circumstances to begin working on themselves. They say, when I have more time, I will learn. When I have more money, I will start. When the situation is right, I will improve. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will only ever be today. And what you choose to do with today is the seed of who you will become tomorrow. Investing in your growth means deciding that every single day is a chance to get better. It means understanding that even the smallest step forward, repeated consistently, creates massive change over time. The person you admire, the person you look up to, the person whose life seems full of achievement, they did not get there by accident. They got there because they chose, day after day, to invest in themselves. They read when others slept. They practiced when others complained. They built skills when others wasted time. Their success is not luck. It is the accumulated compound interest of daily growth. Imagine your life as a bank account. Every time you dedicate a moment to learning, every time you commit to practice, every time you choose to grow instead of waste, you are making a deposit. It may feel small at first, it may feel insignificant, but those deposits build over time, they compound. And one day you wake up and realize you are rich, not with money alone, but with wisdom, resilience, and mastery. The mistake most people make is waiting for the big deposit, the giant leap, the dramatic breakthrough. But life rewards those who understand that greatness is built brick by brick, day by day, moment by moment. Daily growth also requires humility. It requires admitting that you do not know everything, that you still have weaknesses, that you are still learning. Many people resist growth because they fear looking foolish. They want to appear strong, capable, complete. But true strength is found in the willingness to remain a student. The person who keeps learning, keeps reading, keeps asking, keeps failing, and keeps rising again is the one who ultimately becomes unshakable. Do not let pride lock you in place. Humility opens the door to wisdom, and wisdom paves the road to growth. Every day you are given choices. Will you waste this day on distractions, on meaningless comparisons, on empty entertainment that leaves you hollow? Or will you use this day to sharpen your mind, to strengthen your character, to expand your abilities? Growth is not glamorous. It is often quiet, often unnoticed, often uncelebrated, but it is in that quiet space where the greatest transformations occur. And while the world may not clap for you today, the results will speak for themselves tomorrow. The power of daily growth lies in its persistence. A single workout will not transform your body, but 1,000 workouts will. A single book will not transform your mind, but 1,000 books will. A single effort will not change your destiny, but the relentless choice to keep investing in yourself will. That is the secret the world forgets. It is not about what you do once in a while, but about what you do every single day. And every day you have a chance to invest in your own becoming, to lay another brick on the foundation of the person you were destined to be. Every great achievement begins with a vision, a clear picture of what your life could be, what your purpose could manifest into, and what your destiny demands of you. But here is the danger. Visions are fragile, and if you are not careful, the world will cloud them with distractions, doubts, and noise. You must learn to protect your vision as fiercely as you would protect your most valuable treasure, because in truth it is. Without vision, your energy scatters. Without vision, your steps wander. Without vision, you become a passenger in life instead of the driver of your own journey. You must also guard your vision against the opinions of others. Some will not understand your dream, not because it is impossible, but because it is not theirs. They will try to shrink your vision to the size of their imagination. And if you let them, you will end up living a life that is not yours. Remember this, people do not always see the world as it is. They see it as they are. So do not let someone with limited sight dictate the size of your vision. Protect it, nurture it, and allow it to grow even when others cannot comprehend it. Protecting your vision also requires sacrifice. It means saying no when the world tempts you to say yes. It means turning down comfort for the sake of progress, ignoring distractions for the sake of purpose, and resisting shortcuts for the sake of lasting success. Every time you say yes to something that does not serve your vision, you are quietly saying no to the destiny waiting for you. But when you are bold enough to protect your focus, to prioritize your dream, to guard your goals, you give yourself the chance to rise above the noise and build something meaningful. Think of vision as a flame. At first, it is small, delicate, vulnerable to the winds around it. If you leave it unprotected, it will flicker out before it ever has a chance to burn bright. But if you shield it, if you nurture it, if you keep feeding it with belief, discipline, and focus, that flame becomes a fire. And that fire will not only light your path, it will inspire others to find their own. But it begins with protection. It begins with drawing boundaries around your time, your energy, and your focus. Do not underestimate the power of distraction. It may seem harmless in the moment, but over time it robs you of the very hours you need to make your vision real. A dream is not destroyed in a day. It is destroyed slowly in the quiet theft of attention. But just as distraction steals in small pieces, protection builds in small choices. Every choice to turn away from the noise and return to your vision strengthens it. Every choice to ignore, doubt, and invest in faith protects it. Every choice to stay focused when the world tempts you to drift brings you closer to seeing that vision come alive.